All right, let's take a look at the melody for How High the Moon. And and I hope I hope you have a guitar in your hands. Um, I spent like a lot of my life teaching, and this is weird. But not being able to see what you're doing and hear you and so on. But anyway, get a guitar in your hands and let's learn this melody. It's called How High the Moon, and it's a sequential melody, meaning that it's a sequence. Okay, so yeah, so let's start up here because the melody follows the chords, right? So the chord progression does this kind of thing. Like it starts on the one and two, 2, 5. Next one, the next one is a tone below, right? And then same thing again. Okay, so and the melody sort of follows the same kind of idea. If we take a look, in other words, the melody follows the chords. If we take a look at the melody, we have the fifth of the G major chord, the root of the G major chord, the nine, again 9, and the 3, right? And, we've got the root, the 5, the 3, very diatonic, very clearly spelling out the chord. The 9 here is passing to the flat 3, which defines the minor chord, and then we have the root of C7, the fifth of C7, and then the 9 of F major going to the 3 of F major. Remember that the 3 of the chord is telling you whether the chord is major or minor. That's hugely important. And when you're improvising and learning to improvise, improvising is really just at its apex is really just uh, composing without the time element, if you will. And that's why we look at melodies and analyze melodies because they're a perfect indication of how music is constructed, right? And so there's no uh, there's it becomes obvious when you take a really good look at the chords and the melody. It becomes obvious how intrinsically associated they are. So again, we have the third of the F major chord here, and then the third of the F minor chord here. These are very very strong strong indications, and then the same deal here, the third of the E flat minor here, and so on, right? It's just spelling out the chords. The melody is spelling out the chords. Now let's take a look at the melody, and we're going to just learn this a little bit at a time. We're going to take it up at fret 10. So let's do that again. Okay. And then we have the same deal. Now, the significance there is we've changed chords, right? And bang, right on that strong beat, it says, we changed chords. And then that chord it goes from the third of the G minor, and the same chord becomes the same note in the melody becomes the seventh of the C7. Now, exactly the same sequence, right? Same sequence down a tone that time, right? And then down a tone. And then We are at the E flat. So from here, I'm starting here, so we're all on the same page. Start on the D, E flat, B flat, right? Again, the third of the chord telling us, that it's a minor chord. And then third of the major chord. And it repeats. Down a tone. And then we have from the start. Major. And then little. All right. So I'm sorry, I'm sort of punctuating with chords, but I don't think it hurts. I think you get the idea because that's what I want you to do as well. So the first thing we do is get the melody underneath our fingers, and I think you probably have enough. You see, what I'm doing is I'm following the chords, because it makes sense. There's that minor again. Major. And then we start again. Okay, so and then you can add the chord underneath. So let me back off a little bit. Chord. Right, and then the same thing. Right. A minor 7. And then the minor chord the first time. A major chord. And then the B minor, B flat, A minor 11, and then we start in again. Major the second time through. And then finally, and the G. All right. So that's building a little chord melody on How High the Moon, and so start with the melody, and then you can begin to punctuate that melody with chords, right? And I think that should be pretty clear, because this works really well for a chord melody, because it's so the melody is so diatonic. The melody notes are going to end up being in the chord, so you don't have to go through a bunch of crazy stuff to get this right underneath your fingers. Yeah, so that is good. You can also, as you move forward, um, start to add more. Um, and so on. You get the idea. Just little fills like that. And you keep building it up. And remember that you're doing all of this by memory, right? If you've done the work, if you've done the prep work, you should be at this stage. You're playing these changes, by memory. And yeah, I know I'm looking at the changes on the, but yeah, you should be playing this by memory. And so it's a very sequential melody, and it works. There's so much to learn here, and I'd invite you to dig into this one, and keep it as a part of your regular practicing repertoire, because thousands of players before you have done the same thing with great results. It's just a lovely little tune, and it should move you forward. So if this was a help to you, let us know, subscribe, click like, and let us know, of any comments you might have. They're important for us as well. Okay, thanks. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by.